Hello, if that's working. Let's check. I never know. This is always a very nervous part of the stream for me. This is working or not. Let's see. Okay, and we're live. G'day, guys. Thanks for being here. I just want to check really quickly if this link that I've just put out on Facebook is working, because that would be really annoying if it's not. So let's have a quick look. Yeah. Here we go. And it's not working. Lucky I checked. Okay, one moment. Edit this quickly. The link in there. Okay, that should be working. Alrighty, let's jump back in. Although I'm not sure if that is actually working. Basically, guys, I just don't know how to share my stream. So let's look. Say g'day. If you've popped in already, I did just tag everyone from Facebook, so I'm sure a couple of you are here. Okay. I have no idea how to share my stream. So here we go. Okay. Alright, finally. I've just actually shared a link to the Facebook group. So, g'day guys. Welcome to another live stream. Today we're going to basically just be doing Q&A like we always do, answering some questions hopefully, but also I'm going to try something new where we basically watch a couple of YouTube videos, some van build videos, and take a deep dive into like some different people's processes and methods that they're using, and what I sort of see when I look at that, what's working and what maybe I'd change as well. So there we go. G'day, Steve. Thanks for dropping in, man. Okay, so if I've set this up right, we should. Here we go. Be looking at YouTube and have the screen up. There we go. All right, so yeah, basically the plan is we're gonna have a look at some cool builds, some Toyota Hiace camper vans to start off with, just because that's what I'm doing. I think that's the most relevant. From like my recent poll, certainly I've seen that most of the people in Journey Van Builds have a bias towards the smaller vans, like what I'm doing. So that's what we'll stick with, and have a look at some small van builds here. So specifically, we'll have a look at Hiaces. With all this being said, I have no idea if this is actually going to work. Like, there's every chance that YouTube is just going to shut this down because I'm like, streaming somebody else's content while watching this. I've done a heap of research into like what the rules are, and apparently it is allowed because we're going to be talking about it while we watch the content, but we'll see how we go. It might just get taken down. Oh, there's Mel's build on the first page, which is cool to see. So yeah, we'll see. Had a quick look through before for some cool builds, and so I'll try and find like a cool one, an interesting one that we can have a look at. Go back to the start. So this video is gonna be RTC Reloaded, which I guess is like a I don't know, like a third party YouTube channel, I think. So they repost other people's builds, or maybe this is their build, I'm not sure. But interesting that it's Japan, since half of our Hiaces these days are coming directly from Japan. Like super loud for me. So yeah, while we're here, basically we're going to be watching some builds here, commenting on what's going on, and also just chatting, really. I'm trying to do every Sunday, I want to do a live stream with you guys, so just answer any questions that you've got. Straight away, I can tell you, they already know what they're doing just from this one little tool here. This little orange trim tool, or it may not even be a trim tool, maybe they've just found some other bit of plastic, but yeah, no, it's a trim tool. It's so handy for taking off all the trim, which makes sense. Removing this light. I think I'm going to speed this up though. But then mute it. Yeah, it's just little tiny things like that make life so much easier to remove trim. Yeah, there you go. That's your little orange trim tool to do exactly what they're doing now. Interesting, like they're really taking this van apart, even though honestly it looks like it's in great condition. Like I don't know why they're taking all this stuff off. So I mean, I guess we'll see. They're being super thorough. But yeah, all the little tools like that, the trim tool, those are annoying ones where like you're doing one van build, say, then it's probably not worth buying all these, there's 100 different little knick-knack tools that you could use, but if you did have them, like God, it does make it a lot easier. This is interesting. This is something I noticed earlier, right? So this is the sound dampening mat that they're putting on. They're using a little roller to roll that onto any flat sheet metal. And g'day, Nicholas. How's it going, mate? So yeah, this is your sound dampening mat, and it's really important to do on the roof because that's what's going to stop your rain noise. Basically, if you're sleeping in your van overnight and it's rainy, it can be super loud if you don't have this sound dampening mat on the roof. One interesting thing is it's pretty much accepted, like it's general consensus that you only need to cover 50% of the sheet metal to for that to be effective. So anything over 50%, and you're not getting so much return from the amount of material that you're using. So yeah, you can sort of see. I mean, in my builds, I'll draw it on here. I use like these tiny little slivers for each one of these sections. So I probably didn't use enough if you've seen my builds or the last one I did with Mel. But certainly, this is a lot. So you can get away with using a little bit less material than this, and it's still going to be super effective. But again, they've got another little tool here, this little roller. I can't pause it on because they're in supersonic speed, but the little roller that you apply this sound dampening mat with, it's another just a little nice tool which would be cool. And again, you can see they're installing this sound dampening mat over the whole place, which isn't strictly necessary. But I mean, yeah, if you've got it, you might as well use it. Let's just hear what they're trying to say here. Let's see this comparison. Okay, the second one you could hear a difference. I couldn't hear a difference the first time at all. Let me know. Can you guys hear that? Could you hear the video when that plays? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, if it's loud. Still trying to get a handle on all this stuff. So this is really interesting. They're using, this is XPS insulation, and so this is one of my like mainly recommended products to use for insulation. It's got really good R rating, R value, like just thermal resistance basically, but it's not too expensive. So the problem though with this stuff is that it's like rigid. It's a rigid board, and so it's quite difficult to get to stick to any bends in your van. So it's really interesting. This is the first time I've ever seen this, where they've cut those slits in the insulation to give it that bend, to give it the curve. I think you can see sort of, yeah, here, they've cut slits in those to give them that little bit of curve, and so that then it'll glue down and stick to the wall. That's really, really clever. I've not seen that before. It's one of the reasons why I personally use the flexible closed cell foam, because it's obviously it's super flexible already, and it just goes to every surface anyway, like by itself. But yeah, this is a good method to be able to use a cheaper insulation material and still get that really important like full contact adhesion to the walls. Honestly, this is really interesting. Almost making me consider using XPS boards for my next build. Almost. Jade, audio is perfect. Awesome, thank you. So you can hear. That's almost bad though. If I 2x this, it sounds a bit annoying. But anyway. So this is another layer of insulation. There's a special name for this, and it's a super common product, and I've never used it or researched it. I can't remember what it's actually called. You guys might know this. It's like, is that the Dodo mat? Or no, Thinsulate maybe? Is that Thinsulate? So I'll be honest, you guys. This is oh, we've got an ad. This is something I've not really looked into, or I don't do a lot of this in my small vans. So this is now, we've got the sound dampening material, we've got the XPS boards, and then this Thinsulate, or 3M, I think it's 3M Thinsulate in Australia at least. So that's our third layer of insulation, which is obviously very thorough. Most people, I find, particularly in a small van, myself included, will just do the one layer, whether it's closed cell foam or XPS, whatever it may be. So yeah, it's great that in a smaller van like this, they're still going to those extremes to really insulate well. I guess they're in Japan, so it's going to be freezing cold, right? So they need really good insulation. What makes me nervous about all these kinds of products, anything that's like woolen at all, is like how it's going to deal with condensation, which is why, of course, insulation is it's just not a cut and dry topic. It's never black and white. It's always, you know, somebody else has a different opinion and is tell you whatever way you do it. Basically, you're gonna find someone on the internet telling you that you've ruined your van because you've done the worst imaginable insulation possible. So I mean, yeah, that's full on insulate. Let's skip to the next thing. All right, this I'm interested in. If anyone actually saw um, the thumbnail, this is what's on the thumbnail. Looking at this ceiling here, because he's just done little boards. Kaz, agree with you on the insulation. I think it's each to their own, to be honest, and also depends where you live. Yeah, that's right. At the end of the day, as long as you can sleep easy at night and you know you're comfortable that you've done um, a good job by your standards, then that's the main thing. This is really interesting, and I'm interested how many of you, because I'm sure you guys are like part way through a van conversion, right? How many of you have used the some stencils like this before? So we saw just before he's actually like held this cardboard up and to get this curved edge, and now he's transferring that curved edge onto his ceiling boards. So this is one thing when I was going through the camper van build with Mel that like sort of surprised her was just how many stencils you need to make, like for everything you're cutting basically. There's going to be up against some kind of curve or bump in the van, and so yeah, just everything requires stencils. So it's good to see he's using stencils basically. And yeah, you'll need to make like 20 different stencils through the course of a build. I'm wondering if that's real timber or if it's some kind of other material. The fact it looks like pretty hollow. Oh no, that's just the tongue and groove maybe. Let's see. So I like this in that he's done the framing across to give himself something to fix to, even at the back, which is really important. It can be really tricky to get that last bit of frame in, but it's really important just to give your board some rigidity at the edge there. So here's even a better view. We can, oh, it's gone. We can see, yeah, he's done all of his frames here. So that's what it's fixing to. I really like, to be honest, like in Australia, you just go into Bunnings and get 2.7 meter lengths of pine lining, and you're just able to do the full length in one go. It's like super easy. I think you've got to trim like 14 millimeters off a board to make it the perfect size. So that yeah, it's super easy for us for sure if you're just going to Bunnings. But yeah, it looks great. That's flush, isn't it? I absolutely love a timber ceiling in a van. I think it's one of the best investments you can make. Somebody asked on the last stream if I thought it was worth the extra weight that you get when you put a timber ceiling on your van, but I think like the effect that has turning your van into like a cozy log cabin sort of vibe is 100% worth it. Like I would never paint my ceiling white, for example, in the van. Like just having a nice cozy timber roof is so nice. When you close your door at night, you go into bed, you're just like in a log cabin. Really cool. I reckon that looks so good. Alright, more stencils. He's just lucky enough to have massive cardboard boxes lying around. And I also want to point out that this guy is doing this really interesting. He's doing his whole floor like prefab. He's prefabricating his whole floor outside. That's so different. I've never seen that. Wow. And so how's he going to cut around that? Okay. Yeah, there you go. Just with a jigsaw around his stencils. Yeah, that's really interesting as well. Honestly, there may be something in, because this is a Japanese video, right? There may be something in like watching van conversions from other cultures and nationalities. Normally, because I'm searching in English on YouTube, there are probably like dozens of Japanese Hiace builds that I've never seen that all have really cool ideas and interesting like takes on how to do things, but we've just never seen it because we've never searched Japanese YouTube. We just get all the American and Journey Van Build stuff. Looks like laminate. Jade, no worries. Thanks for stopping by and saying g'day. I'm trying to do every Sunday. I'll do every Sunday a live just to hang out, do some like review videos like this, or I'm sort of trying to figure out some cool and interesting ways that we can do some lives and ways to hang out and keep things interesting. I put my flooring in. Nice. Good on ya. Congrats. Hell yeah. That's so good. Have you finished? I mean, everybody has a different order of doing things, and I'll let you go. You've got to do your meeting anyway. But I'm interested if you've done your walls and ceiling, or if you've done the floor first. Looks like laminate flooring strips. Yeah, actually, you're exactly right. Now I can see that. Although I think it was different on the ceiling, right? The finish looks similar, but I think it's a different material. These look like laminate strips, but the ceiling was something else. Doing the stencils and recuts. Yeah. Awesome. So I just want to say these guys are like super thorough. They're unbelievably thorough. We saw at the start of the video, they've got like the right trim picking tools and stuff to take all these things off. Just the fact that they've even put holes in the floorboards there for the tie down points. That's crazy. Where is that? I can't. They're doing a very good job. It makes me wonder on if I don't even know if this is a professional fit out or just DIY. It's screaming professional, but at the same time he's like so like kind of slow and chill about everything that I don't know. Jigsaw cuts. Tell me who here is too scared to use a jigsaw. That always interests me. I reckon a jigsaw is the most versatile tool that you can use on a whole van conversion. So if you're not afraid to use one, they are so valuable. And if you sort of are a little bit afraid, they're probably worth learning how to use and overcoming that. But I know it is one of the scarier tools to pick up. So I'd be interested here. How many of you guys are maybe a little bit intimidated by a jigsaw? This guy makes it look so easy. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can sort of tell it's weird as because he's like just moving like so slow and methodical, but it also gives a sense like he's definitely done all this before. Like he knows what he's doing. Wait, this is weird. So this was like a I don't know what that was, like a 25 or 30 mil thick like benchtop timber, and it looks like he's using that as a like a bed base, just solid timber. So this will be interesting. That'll be really interesting. I used my jigsaw for the first time in my life during my van conversion. Ah, good on you, Kaz. That's what it's all about. Learning new skills. It definitely is scary the first time you use it, especially if you don't have somebody there who knows what they're doing to sort of walk you through it. Um, it is scary. Oh, this looks really nice. I suddenly just got really jealous looking at this storage cabinet. You're kidding me. Steve, wouldn't be without my jigsaw. I've been doing the carpeting of walls and wheel arches last few days. Certainly a learning curve. Yeah, it can be a little tricky at first, the stretch carpeting. Kind of yeah, keeping your spray adhesive from going over everything. Um, oh, nice fly screen. Um, yeah, it definitely is a bit of a learning curve. It's a good idea to sort of pick some areas with your stretch carpeting that's going to be less visible to start off with, and sort of getting a hang of that the install method. What is this? What the hell? That's insane. I've never seen anything like that. Look at that. You could look at this. You can see the on the replay graph. That's the most replayed section by far. Oh wow. That's such an interesting attachment. I'm gonna be honest, it's I guess so this attachment it looks really I mean interesting. It looks cool. It's I don't know how useful it is, this fan attachment here, if you have a roof fan. If you have like a max air roof fan, then it's a little bit obsolete because your roof fan's going to be doing the creating the vacuum, and all you need is an open window to sort of create or finish that loop or that vacuum. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good in between version. If you don't want to put a roof fan up the top, you can just yeah chuck one of those in for some ventilation. But I've certainly never seen anything like that before. I don't know how accessible those things are. Let's see. Yeah, I absolutely. I wouldn't be without my jigsaw either. I used a jigsaw professionally for the job that I had. I used it like almost every day cutting metal and concrete tiles, like all kinds of crazy cuts. So, um I'm pretty proficient with the jigsaw, so I use it pretty much for everything. Like there are times where I should use a circular saw or even a plane to trim things, and I'm using a jigsaw because I'm just more comfortable with a jigsaw. They're so handy. Okay, what do we got here? So couple things I'm noticing there is interesting, like how removable the ceiling boards are. That's really cool. But weird that they didn't just do these electrics before the roof went up, before the ceiling went up. but maybe this guy, their mate here, is their electrician friend, and he just comes in for one day at the end and does everything. I'm still interested, to be honest, with this bed base here. It's like just a big solid block of timber. I guess there's heaps of ventilation in and around it, but it's just pretty much generally accepted that you should have some kind of ventilation, slats cut or something in your bed base, just to to give your mattress some more air so you don't get a moldy mattress. Can happen. I'm still super jealous of these sideboards, like prefab to the right shape with all your curves and stuff for your window of the Hiace. That's so cool. What the heck? What is happening? This is seriously unlucky. I've watched so many van build videos. I've never seen one like this. The Japanese. They've got a pendulum light. It's kind of giving like a professional shop vibes, like almost like these these sideboards here, these light fittings up here, the window fittings that we were just looking at, like they maybe sell those products. Like this looks like another prefab board here. So maybe these guys sell those products, and that's where they're getting them from. Why they have such interesting pieces. Drawer slides. A lot of people struggle putting on drawer slides. I'll tell you, I mean, I don't know how well I can demonstrate it, but the trick to putting on drawer slides is to measure the center point where you want to put your drawer slides on the outside, like the carcass of your cabinetry, and then on the drawer itself, you measure the center point so everything aligns up with each other at the center, and then that's where you screw, because usually your screw holes are along that center line as well. A lot of people get stuck. They try to measure from the bottom of the external drawer slide, and then they measure from the bottom of the internal drawer slide, but they're different heights, and it just nothing ever lines up. So you always go center line for your drawer slides. I'll probably next time I do a build, I'll do a quick video on that though, just explaining that. These things are really cool. I really like the idea of those. Oh, I've missed it. I really like the idea of these brackets. Holy crap. Look at that. Again. This single van conversion has so many ideas that I've never seen. That's wild. So what packs away as literally just like a flat pack along the front wall is a massive bench out the top here. That's crazy. I really like these brackets here as well. They're like it's such a super basic mechanical design. I think they're a really good idea for most people. Like if you're doing a really simple van conversion, say even if like you had a kitchen here and you didn't want to even mess around with a drawer slide coming out the door here, then for your kitchen bench here, you just put one of these angle brackets on here, or two of them. This is making any sense. And then you've got a little fold up table here that just folds flat. I'm just drawing everywhere, but yeah, they're really good. I like those brackets just to keep things simple. That is so sleek. Has a damper lock function. There you go. Yeah, I love that. Rental car. So, do you think he rented the van and then fitted it out? That's so cool. And I love, to be honest, the aesthetic finishing shots, like going off into the forest here, catch all your nice aesthetic finish van content. That's so nice. It's a nice extra touch for sure. Whoa. Okay. It was so close. Right at the end here. This is probably the single main thing I would change. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at this mattress here. Um, I don't know if that's the mattress I would go for in my own van conversion. My philosophy is if you're not sleeping well in your van, if you're not having a good night's sleep, then you're not enjoying van life at the end of the day. So I would always prioritize basically as good a quality mattress as you can, whether it's in your budget or in your space. Like you should try to get a good mattress. So I would be on something a little thicker than this, I reckon. Usually like the 12 centimeter, 12 to 15 centimeter mark um, is what I've found good. Of high density foam, 12 to 15 centimeters thick is good. This is thin. I mean, each to their own. This guy may, like, obviously probably loves a minimalist lifestyle and has no problem sleeping on a thin mattress like this. So good on him. It's obviously a very easily fixed, just personal touch, but that's something I would definitely change. Nice. Got your little desk area with some cool mood lighting, heaps of LED puck lights, presumably LED. It's cool. It's super basic. What I'm really interested in with this build is like most of the work that we saw, which is true of every good van conversion, most of the work you see is done behind the scenes before you even get to the finished product. Like all the work we saw done in that roof with your sound dampening, 2 layers of insulation. Obviously they've got their electronics behind there, all the work they went through to like pop all the trims off properly and not damage anything. Um, yeah, like it's like an iceberg, or at least half the work is done in things that you can't actually see in the if you're doing a really thorough job. So even though this is like a super simple conversion, really, at the end of the day, that's super minimalist. There's not even like fold out drawers under the bed, or this is just a curtain here. There's no cupboards here. There's virtually nothing up the front, so it's a super minimalist fit out. But the base build behind it all, like your insulation, all that stuff, your floor, your walls, your ceiling is all like super professionally done and like super high quality. So good on them. And it's decked out with all the trimmings, roof deck, ladder, and a nice awning. That's cool. Don't think I could sleep on that mattress. Yeah, me either, Kaz. That's crazy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your video. So that's RCC Reloaded. 461,000 subscribers. There you go. Good on them. I don't know how this works, honestly, guys, with like the rules. I've been told that this is um oh, something's happening. Asking me to verify. Okay, we're back. Yo, what's up, Globetrotter? Thanks for making it, man. Solo. Yeah, there you go. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, what I was saying is I actually am not 100% certain on the rules of streaming this stuff. I know it is you're allowed to show other people's stuff on stream as long as you're like, you know, commenting and adding some kind of value. But yeah, at the same time, we're just going to make sure that we are properly recognizing everybody that we're watching and yeah, doing it the right way. So that's these guys. RCC Reloaded. They got a heap of videos by the looks, and they specialize, which is interesting because we saw in that video they did a really good job with their installation. And so they're specializing in really cold weather, cold temperature van life by the looks of it. So that's cool. Yo, popular. There we go. Nice. All right, we'll have a look at another one. G'day, guys. If you've stopped by, say g'day. We're just sort of watching some van build videos, commenting on yeah, my thoughts, sort of as someone who's built a few vans. Yeah, just to give you an insight into like what I see when I'm looking at these things, some things that I'd change, things that are working really well. So let's have a look. I've saved a few here, so we'll have a look through. Have a look at one of these. This one. Yeah. So yeah, we're watching videos, but at the end of the day, if you want to say g'day and ask questions about your own van conversion, then fire away. I'm always going to be yeah, keen to answer your questions as well. 4-day Toyota Hiace camper van conversion. Okay, interesting. 4-day build. So this is something I cannot relate to, and I'm fascinated to see how the hell he's done it because I don't think I could strip a van and do rust in 4 days. I don't know how, but everything just takes me so long. So let's see. Stoked for Travel is the channel. So we're going to watch their 4-minute video on their van conversion. So you can check out their video yourself if you want as well. Oh, it looks like a good video. See. So again, you can see straight away making templates and using a jigsaw. There you go. The backbone of van conversions. Templates and jigsaw cuts. Okay, so we're not getting so much in between here. We're just getting the quick cuts. But you can sort of already tell, just given the fact that this is a 4-day conversion, the quality of the last one we watched and this one is that they're on different levels. But interesting that they are going all out with their insulation here. So he's sprayed that looks like a contact adhesive on the back of his insulation and then on the wall there. And so he has insulated the whole wall, which is cool to see. He's just leaving that big sort of cavity open, which I guess is just comes down to the time frame that he's building under. So he's just got a bunch of plywood walls here that is screwed straight into the metal wall. It's personally not the way I go about it. I prefer to put some timber strips, some like framing up and down the wall so that you can screw your wall sheets into those. But this is, yeah, like if you're just doing a quick DIY build, this is like the way that people do it. And you can see also here the way he's got like this little strip just joining the join. He's had a little section where the bigger sheets couldn't quite join up together. So you just chuck a little strip in there to cover that up. Just whatever it takes. This is a fast and loose van build. Vinyl roofing. So this is that's super interesting. Putting some just vinyl flooring, because he's called it vinyl roofing, but they're vinyl floorboards usually. Um, so what's really interesting here is that you can see that he's still got the oh, you guys can still see this. So he's still got the metal ribs exposed and visible in the van conversion. So what that means is basically he's taken up very little space in his ceiling cavity. So usually what I will do is put a timber frame over the top of this. All of these ones here, I'll put timber over all of them. So straight away, I'm like a full centimeter further in than even this metal support here. And then I fix my ceiling to that. So we're coming down like another 15 millimeters. So that's kind of the negative of that approach, is you are using quite a bit of your headroom here. So this is really interesting. It looks like he's basically just stuck this plywood or MDF board directly to the ceiling, and then he's using a super thin vinyl sheet here as well. So he's using like next to none of the headroom in the van, which is really good. A lot of people actually ask me how to do that. So this is a great approach if that's what you're after. The only thing I would consider here is it doesn't look like he's used any, if much, insulation in these spaces, because it is so high, so tightly packed there. So some kind of insulation obviously is going to be great, but what's really important is your sound deadening on the roof, the sound dampening mat, because it's going to basically prevent your rain noise when you're asleep at night and it starts raining, particularly if you're under a tree. Interestingly enough, the leaves sort of collect the water and you get these like really fat raindrops hitting your roof. And it's just, you can't sleep basically if it's raining and you don't have sound dampening mats on your ceiling. So definitely I'd do that as a minimum. Insulation would be great, but maybe he's used the same silver material that he used all over the walls here. He might have sprayed his the spray contact adhesive up top, and used the same insulation, which might help in both cases a little bit. But yeah, a super interesting approach to your ceiling to be minimalist like that. That's cool. They fell off. I think he addressed it later in the vid. Have you already seen this one, Globetrotter? That's interesting. All right, we'll have a look in a second. Seen it, just clickbait, basic, and not what anyone wants. You're talking about this build? Savage. Well, look, you can say that. I have to be diplomatic and fine. I mean, no, honestly, this is my point with these videos is I want to find the positives in every van build that I do. It's kind of my philosophy, in my own builds, is that I'm trying to, find the best solutions to every problem there is to overcome in a van conversion. But with you guys, like, I know there are like hundreds of you building vans, thousands of people watching the videos, and everybody has a different situation, a different budget, a different level of ability and skill, different materials available, different time available to do their van builds. And for all of those different reasons, everybody's perfect van build is going to look very, very different. So for this guy, this may be, and probably is, his perfect van build. Whether it's his time restraints, budget restraints, or just the fact that he doesn't care for a super luxurious build. He doesn't feel like he needs that. He just wants to be able to get away in a cheap Hiace and he's still pulling up at the same beach next to me, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep that sort of at the forefront. This, you know, I'm looking for the positives in everybody's builds, because I think it's just way too easy, you know, for everybody. If you're in any normal van build groups, particularly on Facebook, and you put yourself out there at all, you will just instantly get shut down by a dozen different keyboard warriors. So I think that's super. It's kind of too common, and I don't want to I don't want to be contributing to that. Let's just say it would be super easy, and part of me wants to just like rip into these, rip into these people, and you know, it would be like more controversial and, you know, maybe more clickbaity and generate more attention, but it's not how I sort of want the, you know, the Journey Van Builds community to grow. So we're gonna be looking for all the positives. Also, did this guy get a haircut between the intro and the whole build? I just noticed in the intro he had really long hair. Is it a different guy? Anyway. Inner cabinets. I'm always just fascinated when watching videos to see like the different tools people had available while they're doing their builds. Interestingly, so it looks like, you know, he's definitely quite proficient with his cabinetry. Okay, we're doing a DIY mattress. Nice. Alright, he's not really showing any of it though. We got 2 seconds of mattress. It looks like we're sort of just rushing through this now just to get to the big reveal, I guess. Here we go. Solar on top. Kings, nice. How many of you guys, do you guys use kings or would you avoid kings? What do you guys reckon? Is kings, you know, cheap crap that you wouldn't touch, or is it too cheap to avoid? It's just unavoidable how cheap it is. You have to get it. Okay. Oh, it's a work light. Okay. This is interesting. Zero kings. Yeah. Oh, Globetrotter, you're like my my man in the know. Okay. So his mate built it, and his mate was a cabinet maker. I suppose, to be fair, I probably should be watching this with audio on just so I could get all this information, but I feel like it might be a bit too confusing to have me talking and have audio as well. Yeah. Kaz, what do you think of this build so far? Let me know what you're thinking. So I've paused it here because this is something I would avoid doing, certainly, and I would advise you guys to avoid doing this as well. So this is the solar power, you know, entrance. How he's letting the cables from the solar panel into the van to get to his leisure battery setup. So you can see he's obviously just drilled a hole in the roof, and is using just, you know, shoved the cables through and using a silicon to fix that up. Couple of things with this. First of all, you'd want it to be a bloody good silicon, and certainly to have cleaned the area. You'd need to clean that whole area with wax and grease remover or metho or, you know, whatever it may be, and use a really good product there, because otherwise you're going to have water come into your van. It's just a matter of time. That's super hard. That's a super hard seal to make, and with a cable sticking out like this, you know, that's so much leverage for the cable to move and bend in the wind, that it's going to create too much movement down here, and you're going to lose your seal 100%. with all that being said, I would not recommend any of that anyway, because you should 1,000,000% have a rubber or a plastic grommet in this hole so that your electric cable here isn't rubbing up against the cut edge of your van roof, because that, again, with the vibrations on the road and stuff, there's every likelihood that that's going to cut through your insulation of your cable and become a real safety hazard at some point. If not, bare minimum, just ruin your solar panel. So definitely recommend a plastic or rubber grommet, and ideally, really, you would have a whole solar cable like entry housing unit over this here. So yeah, maybe that's not for you. Not everybody, wants to go to that length to get the whole box here. But an absolute minimum, you need to have a grommet in there. Moving on. Zero Kings. Yeah, it's I'm genuinely I'm not sure what I think about Kings, to be honest. I'm using a Kings fridge and solar blanket at the moment. How have you found the solar blanket to go, Cass? Here we go. We got our final look through. Couple of surfboards on top. See, this is what I'm talking about. I love every van conversion. Doesn't matter like how quick, cheap and nasty a build is. This gets me excited. He's pulled up. He's got a couple of surfboards on top. He's ready to go. He's got absolute freedom. So you can sort of tell that he's a cabinet maker. That's where his passion came out in this build. Little things like just screwing his boards directly onto the metal up there. Not so much care was taken on, the van side of things. But then as soon as it got to his little cabinet, he's really gone all out. Soft closed drawers and this little pull out drawer here. That's really nice. And see, that's definitely where the passion was in the project for him, the experience. That was so nice, it looked like AI, honestly. There you go. Who doesn't want that? Where is that? Okay. Do we have a listen? He's going to tell us what worked and what didn't.
Your van into an epic van life experience. Make sure you check out the links in the description for my full van life guide. As always, guys,
he's got a guide, everyone.
I'll see you next week.
Is this? Okay, maybe he just explained that in a voiceover. What Globetrotter was saying, that the roof boards fell off. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Maybe it was another video. I guess Globetrotters must have seen a few of the videos. So there we go. Interestingly, I did notice as well further on in the video, he's with this little strip here, he did put some timber bog over the top of it to try and cover that up. So he's made the effort, which is cool, but with a multiple bits of timber like that, just putting bog filler over them, 20 kilometers down the road, that's going to have cracked and been completely visible again, almost guaranteed. So it's usually in cases like this where you do have to have a join. Obviously, having two joins there is like kind of worst case scenario, but if you were to just have one join in between these two bits of timber, it's usually better. It's maybe a little bit counterintuitive to if you haven't done much DIY before, but it's usually better to just keep a join visible. Like, don't try to hide the join. Just make a visible join neat rather than trying to hide a join, because a join that you've tried to make invisible and isn't quite always looks worse than a join that you're happy to acknowledge and leave there, but you've just kept it minimalist and neat. because it looks like it is how you have intended, rather than being visible and having cracks because you've tried to do something else. So that's my take on that. I've actually had that argument with a couple of van builders. Everyone tries to cover everything and make it all perfect, and then the cracks have shown. So yeah, each to their own. Kings Globetrotter. Sorry, I do have the King's 85-litre fridge, and it's pretty good. There you go. So it doesn't use any Kings, but the 85-litre fridge is pretty good. The blanket is great so far. I spread it out on the windscreen when I'm parked up. Yeah. Okay, nice. Yeah, so I Kings, I mean, just touching really quickly on Kings with you guys. I I haven't really heard anything negative, like any anecdotal negative experiences with Kings. So it's like it's super cheap. Obviously, it's never going to last as long as like a Victron or even like a Renogy or something like what I use. But for the price point, like everybody's honestly always been really happy with it. So it's hard. Yeah, I know it feels almost like it's just got a bad reputation on the internet because it's so cheap. Because people like me are massive snobs. Like I am a massive snob with the products that I use and the quality. And so I almost don't want to believe that Kings, is fine enough quality for the price, because I have to believe that these expensive products I'm buying are worth the money. So I feel like there's a lot of that out there on the internet, and a lot of people bash Kings, but at the end of the day, certainly for the price, I've heard very little, if any, complaints about Kings. And what usually happens, honestly, is people have another product. Like people all the time will buy a van conversion already converted, and then something will start playing up with their 12-volt system because the person selling it, maybe it's just been a bit old or whatever, or something wasn't done correctly. So something will play up, and inevitably they'll replace that thing, whether it's a solar panel or a fridge or a solar charge controller. They'll replace it with Kings, and then they plug in their Kings, and it all works perfectly. So, yeah, it's from what I've seen on the road, I really can't knock Kings, honestly. For the spot in the market that they are filling, they do a great job. The King's fridge has a 5-year guarantee, so if it burns out before then, they will replace it. Well, there you go. That's really interesting. And it's honestly, that's a really bold claim by them. 5-year guarantee on a fridge. Because some of the fridges that I've seen, and even my own, what happens in a van conversion is you're so pressed for space that you will basically ignore the guidelines of what it recommends, how much space they recommend you leave around the unit. So it just doesn't get enough airflow, and the compressor blows up, essentially. Like I've seen that happen multiple times in vans on the road. The compressor in fridges just go because there's no circulation and airflow around the fridge. So yeah, big call from Kings to offer a 5-year guarantee. You could just keep, stuff your fridge in this little box, and it'll blow up in a year and a half, and then replace it. Easy. Here we are back on Journey Van Builds. All right, let's have a look at another one, I guess. Let's working. We're going all in. Should we, I mean, we've got Globetrotter and Kaz that are chatting. And if anyone else is here, say good day as well. I'll let you guys decide. Do you want to watch another Hiace or like a small van conversion? Or do you want to watch one of the like big, beautiful van, the Toyota, not Toyota, the Mercedes Sprinters or something like that? One of the big videos, that has 20 million views or something. Let me know what you guys would rather watch. I find these ones are cool because they're like relevant, but then there are also, what happens is with the bigger vans, people are more invested and put more money and time and effort into them, so they come up with better ideas. So you can sort of take those ideas from the big van conversions and apply them to your little small van conversion, and then yeah, you get like a better Hiace or small van than most people are building. So let me know what you guys reckon. Big one, please. Fading Ember. First in, best dress. We're gonna do a big one. DIY camper conversion. It always tricks me because obviously I'm on my Journey Van Builds account, so when I'm searching, it just keeps feeding me with my own videos. But every time I see the thumbnail of my own video on YouTube, I'm like, oh wow, that's great. All right, let's see. 10K views. We want a big one, right? With a couple million. Oh, I'm still searching Toyota Hiace. Love Sundays. This guy's pretty popular, I think, right? I've heard him mentioned a few times. A few people have mentioned his channel to me. So we'll have a look. I mean, obviously you can see I have clicked on this video before, so oh, don't mind that. So this is Love Sundays, 160,000 subscribers. I know, yeah, like I said, I've heard of this guy quite a few times. You guys are mentioning him all the time, so I know he's pretty big on the scene. This is from like 2 years ago, and he's pretty much my idol, the way he's got everything organized here with his links and everything. That's really cool. So let's see how he goes with a big event. Kind of, it's interesting for me to watch as well, because right now I'm doing a basically I'm putting together my own edit of a full van build for the last Toyota Hiace that I built with Mel. If any of you have seen the content from the last 12 months, it's probably been with Mel, the Hiace that we built together. So I'm finally doing like a full van conversion time lapse, like a 20-ish minute video, like all these ones basically. So it's, yeah, I'm super interested to watch videos like this just to see like their, editing techniques and stuff. Actually, it's really interesting at the moment. Whether they're commentating, whether there's music. There you go. So he's just got music playing. So this is a difference straight up with your bigger. I like him because he literally has no idea but gets it done. That's sick. That's cool. So is he just doing van conversions, or is he doing like just DIY stuff? I'll have a look at his channel after, but just gets it done. Love that. Hey, that's how we're all trying to be, right? It's pretty much, I just wish everybody in the Journey Van Builds group would be like that. Like, that's the attitude you need to do a van conversion. Start with no idea and just get it done. That's so good. Yeah, this is a big difference there with straight away with a small van build and a bigger one like this. The way that he's framed that subfloor, you don't really have room in a Hiace or a smaller build to fully frame your subfloor. Which, in my opinion, honestly doesn't matter unless you're in a really cold climate. I don't think you really need to worry about insulating underneath your subfloor so much. It's not such a big factor in warm climates. Where it's cold, it's absolutely a big issue. Because the frost basically from the ground like just penetrates the floor of your van overnight and just freezes the floor of your camper van. So you have to wear shoes in your own van, basically. So cold climates, you definitely want some hefty insulation on your floor. Warmer climates, you can theoretically skimp out on the insulation a little bit and save yourself some headroom, is what I've found living on the road. Yeah, like me. That's it. That's the way. I really hope he's probably not going to show us, but I really hope he seals around that subfloor with some kind of silicone. It looks like he's going to a lot of effort to, seal plug all these holes properly. So it's really important to seal up around your subfloor. So this is interesting. If anybody was here earlier on, the first video we watched someone using the sound dampening material. So this stuff here, don't know what that was. This stuff here. And funnily enough, in the original video, they were covering everything with this sound dampening mat. And I pointed out theoretically, you really only need to cover 50% of any sheet metal area. This is a little bit less than 50% though. I'd say that's what is that? 25%. So theoretically, you could be using a little bit more of that just to get a better end result. But if you don't have much material or you're just not so worried about it, then obviously that's fine too. Where I would not skimp out on that is on the ceiling, like I've mentioned before, just with your rain noise while you're sleeping in a van overnight. It's a really good idea to have your 50% coverage on the ceiling for your sound dampening mat. He's got this little roller tool. Do you guys have that roller? Every YouTuber that uses sound dampening mat has this roller. I never bought it. I never bought one. I've done multiple vans, but I've done multiple vans, but I just never thought it was necessary to buy that roller. Like, you can literally use anything else, right? Like any other hard object just to push the butyl material down onto your van wall. I don't know why. I've just never splurged the $15 on that. Never used a roller. Yeah, there you go. It's just one of those extra tools, I guess. But I think no, that's not true. The 4-day van conversion didn't use it. I don't think he put sound dampening mat on at all. But everybody else who has installed sound dampening mat has used a roller tonight. But yeah, I've just never splashed out. I don't know. I got the roller with the kit. What kit was it that you bought, Globetrotter? So he's got some... Oh, that's a closed cell foam with a self-adhesive backing from Dodo. Interesting. And it looks like this is Dodo as well. Does anyone know, Globetrotter, you've seen a bit of Love Sundays, where he comes from? He looks English to me. Is he English? Let me look. Cornwall. Yeah, he's English. Love Sundays. Yeah. Because I don't know if Dodo is a big... Yeah, there you go. He's from Cornwall in England. I don't know if Dodo mat is so big here. Is that like England or America? Obviously it's England. But, we'll give him a like because he reminded me to. Yeah, I don't know if Dodo mat is so big in Australia. What's interesting, look, you can, each to their own, take it or leave it. And I'm not saying necessarily I would every time, but you can see here he's got the edge of his closed cell foam there exposed. I bring it up. I actually don't think it's an issue. I recently did a little video because I've I pulled out my Max Air fan in my own van, and I could see an exposed edge of this pretty much the same product, and it was still well and truly stuck to the roof, so it wasn't a problem at all. With that being said, for some reason, I always tend to tape down my exposed edges there, just so there's no chance that, a bit of water, moisture, air, whatever, anything can sort of make its way down and start, penetrating in behind that. Because that's basically all of the effectiveness of these mats, is that they are completely keeping the moisture and the air out and off that metal surface. So if the air or water, or air really, was to sort of find a crease to get into, it really ruins your effectiveness. So I tend to tape down the edges, but I haven't seen a case where I shouldn't just trust the product, but it's just been what I do. Dodo is in England. Okay, yeah, there you go. Have we just got car builders in Australia? Are you guys all Australia? I'm guessing. I'm just assuming. Dodo is England. I guess, is M3 America? I know in Europe they've got I can't remember the name of it in Europe. I used it for my first van conversion in Germany, but I can't remember the name. But it's the same thing as the car builders stuff we've got here, basically. Interesting is like fully framing. Oh, okay, wait. I got to turn on audio to look at this. This is really interesting. So he's basically doing. Is this what I would call this a vapor barrier, right? He's put in full plastic coverage over all of these metal surfaces. So is that a vapor barrier he's putting on? Jake, I got my stick-on insulation and my sound deadener from Temu, and it was great to work with. Ah, there you go. Temu, eh? Kaz, you didn't want to use my affiliate links? What's up with that? No, I'm just kidding. That's good. If Temu works for you, then power to you. Go for it. Alright, where am I? I want to listen to what he's saying about this, because it looks like he's had some moisture buildup, which is worst case.
I found a few leaks coming down from the roof, which I needed to seal up before I could move on any further with this fan build.
See this? Water. I've written leak up there.
So that's one good thing about it raining, and you're in the van.
Okay, so his roof is leaking.
So up onto the roof I went, but figured whilst I was up there, I might as well install my roof rack to hold my solar panel, which I'll
Is this alright with the audio on? Can you guys hear that? It's like not too disorienting? Or is it not too loud or anything? This is gold.
Whilst I was up there, I might as well install my roof rack to hold my solar panel, which I'll install later.
This is gold. So he's found some rust on the roof. So it looks like this little button here is what was leaking, because in a second that just gets completely covered by mastic, silicon. Maybe he's just covered the rest of it as well with to get rid of this rust. Let's see how he treats this.
Rust on the roof that needed treating and painting before sealing.
So he's just scratched it all back, put the I don't know what that is, the red paint they use in America and England, I guess. I wonder if he used the rust converter on that. So then he's finished it off with a silicon just to make sure that it never sees the light of day again. This is such a nice thing about when you've got, like, that this van is just for you, right? And it's like you're not going to try and sell it on or anything. Like, you can, if you've got a problem on your roof, you can literally just put the biggest little wad of silicon on there to like fix a problem and just know that the problem's fixed, because you don't care about how it looks. like you just want your roof to be waterproof, so it doesn't really matter how it looks. That's like so nice. I'm always like stressing so much about getting like a clean finish. Not that I'm like trying to backhand and compliment this video. It's just that is what you would do, but it's because I'm always thinking about selling my vans on. I've got to sort of try to go to excruciating lengths, even on the roof. 250 GSM Dacron from Spotlight.
Once all the holes were fixed,
What is that?
time to ply line the walls of the van.
See, there you go again. He's got a leak in his roof, so you just get up there with a silicone gun and plug everything up.
Using the plier removed previously
Nice.
as a template to cut it to shape.
Whatever works. Just get the job done.
Firstly, I mounted the lower sections to the wall before building a frame for my inserts.
Let me know, guys, if that's working with the audio being on or if that's a bit annoying.
Inserts to give me extra room for my
Good.
bed.
It's basically what the white insulation is. Okay.
A 6'3" mattress
Spotlight.
in here comfortably. Once the inserts were made, I mounted the top parts of plywood, leaving the rear doors and side sliding door for later. I then carpeted some of the bare metal areas just to tidy up the look. When you're such a large van, you need to feel confident when driving and parking. So I felt it was important to install a reversing camera now before I...
All really good stuff. I just want to see more of each step, basically. So he's done his stretch carpet. I want to see the stretch carpet going in. I want to see how he's doing it, what it looks like in the end. Yeah. So that's a bit annoying, but
and then
anyway.
attach the monitor to where the rear view mirror would
This
be
looks like a
located.
very similar
Growing up
review,
wasn't easy,
reversing
but I did make
camera
a video about how
that
to
I've
do
got.
it, which you may want to watch later. Now that the camera was taken care of,
There you go.
it was time to paint the ply inside the van. I also carpeted the inserts. And once I was happy with that, I laid the vinyl floor on my plywood floor
Carpeting
to
the
make the floor
inserts.
easier to clean.
I'm really interested how this van's gonna turn out. As you can see, it looks like for the walls, he's just got plywood, just painted white plywood there, you know, with joins. Like when he put those frames in around the windows, I'd assumed he was going to clad something else over the top of that, but that might just be it. Which, it's funny how that sort of finish ends up looking fine at the end of a video. Like on Instagram, you can just have plywood painted white and it looks fine, on an Instagram post. But when you see those vans in person, it's like, oh, okay, kind of, the magic is ruined a little bit. But
I wanted a solid frame, so I built the two end posts out of 3x4 timber, supported them in the middle, and then used the IKEA hack of using their bed slats to make the main support for the bed. I used
I've seen this.
screwed them into place.
I mean, obviously everybody does it.
They're pretty strong. I love it when a plan comes together. I then made some width slats.
I don't know if I can have the audio on because it stops me from being able to talk to you guys. 100. $10 a roll. Okay. That's cheap as. You're so right though, Globetrotter. I actually enjoy that as well. That this guy just figures, just has a crack. Just, figuring it out as he goes. There you go. What do you guys think about toilets in your vans? Would you put a toilet in your van conversion? Or is that nasty? It's very divisive. Personally, I wouldn't put a toilet in my Hiace because, the Hiaces are a much smaller van. It's just not worth the room that it takes to put a toilet in. My builds actually have space for a toilet. There's a little section like next to the plumbing where you can fit a toilet underneath the kitchen cabinetry. But just given the amount of public facilities that are available in Australia, it's literally just not worth it. You never actually need a toilet in your van. You can always just go at the beach. So certainly in a small van like a Hiace, I don't think it's worth it. Got the Boxio only for emergency. Yeah, so, but do you think it's, I guess, yeah, if it's an emergency and you use it, then it's gonna feel worth it. But I just wonder, like, is it worth holding on to something that takes up all that space just for the cases where, it's an emergency that, yeah, you could maybe plan around. What's really important there, something he did do, is vacuuming up the swarf, all the little metal shavings and cut-offs from using the jigsaw on the roof. That's really, really important. And after finishing this job, just completely cleaning the roof again, giving it a really good detail clean, vacuuming out any cracks and crevices, because if any of that swarf gets into the little cracks down here, that's just going to be rust city. So that's really good just to vacuum up any swarf up here, particularly if you do use a grinder as well. That's why I'll actually always avoid using a grinder for cutting any of the sheet metal, because the spray that a grinder creates just sends off thousands of tiny little fragments of metal, which will settle all over your van and create rust down the line if you don't clean them all out, like do a super good detail clean. So definitely a jigsaw is the way to go for a cut like this, and then clean everything off for sure. I have a loo, but I'm an old woman. Well, there you go. That's the motto of tonight's stream is everybody's perfect van life looks very different, and that's the beauty of it. So if you need a toilet for your own emergency, then that's awesome that you're able to facilitate that for yourself. Cool. Personally, I keep the space available for other things, but that's, I guess, yeah, I'm lucky to be able to do that. I think for me, it's the safety aspect in the middle of the night. I'm at the start of my build, so still weighing up. Yeah, we'll just consider. This is, by the way, the solar cable entry housing, which I was talking about with our 4-day build, where it's not an ideal way to pass cables into your van. So this is the proper way to do it, which I'm sure all of you already know, because you're all watching lots of content as it is. But that's the right way to do it. Yeah, look, it's something you've got to weigh up. In Australia, I genuinely like, if you're a young mobile person, then I've never in Australia thought, oh, I really wish I had a toilet on board. It did happen to me in Europe. It's a very different game, van life in Europe. There's just not set up for, van life, or just the public facilities in general are terrible. They just don't even have park benches, or they have benches but never tables, and they certainly never have toilets. So Europe's a different game. But yeah, I would consider whether you really think you need one, because I have had friends on the road, that are young and able, fit and able, and they've carried around a big King's toilet just sitting on the floor of the middle of their camper van, and they admitted that they wanted to just get rid of it because it was just taking up space, and they never wanted to use it anyway, because ultimately, if you do use it, it means you've got a poo sitting in a tub in the middle of your build. Obviously, they're built to, so you can't smell it. So if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. But yeah, that was just their take, that they would go without, if they could do it again. Oh, that's such a good idea, Kaz. I've put some photos of my build on the Facebook group tonight, so you can see how small it is. Kaz, do you mind if I have a look at the Facebook group tonight and at those photos on the stream quickly? I'd love to be able to have a look through, like, with you guys, what you're talking about with your own builds. And on that note, anybody in the chat, if you want to chuck some photos up in the Journey Van Builds group, we can go have a look at it. That would be really cool. If anyone's game to have me have a look at your build, I'd love to offer some comments and some positive encouragement. Nice. All right, thanks, Kaz. We'll have a look after this video. Nice to have it for that late night surprise. Yeah, that's true. Look, maybe honestly, guys, I might just be a little bit stubborn. I've literally, not that I want to get into too much details with you on this, but I've literally had situations where I've been in bed at night, like say doom scrolling on my phone or something, or maybe no, I was up editing a video and I felt myself need to maybe, I might need to go to the toilet soon. And so I thought, okay, I need to stop everything I'm doing and go to sleep immediately so that I don't need to go to the toilet. So I guess there are some cases where it has affected me, but yeah, usually I can avoid disaster. All right. Did we skip anything here? I'll just go back quickly. I actually want to look at how he's done the rest of this, the Max Air fan. Painting his edges, butyl tape around the outside, awesome. Really important. Interesting that he's got his butyl tape sort of overlapping here so much. I would have cut mine in half, but yeah, I wonder if he's going to cut that off or how he's going to handle that. But it is really good to see butyl tape. That's the way to go. Also, just I'd be aware that you want to make sure your butyl tape has a nice solid contact. I missed it, but here we go. Who here of you guys either has a Max fan or is going to install a Max fan? Are any of you going to install a Max fan? Because if you are, then I'll give you a quick insight on how to install this. Glad Kaz, I'm not on Facebook, so Facebook. So there you go. Okay, so Fading Member, you'll be able to see Kaz's Facebook post because we'll go in and have a look at it. We'll go easy on you, Kaz. Have you ever known me to be mean in my comments? So what's really good to know coming into a Max fan installation, basically these screws here, this is something that really trips a lot of people up. So what happens is you can see like this is two separate parts, right? The fan sort of section up here and then your flange down the bottom. So what happens is in this little gutter down here, there's like a rubber seal. And so this plastic sort of leading edge of the fan gets pushed down onto that rubber seal all the way around, and that's what makes your Max Air fan watertight. So because of that rubber seal, it creates a lot of resistance. And so these two holes here, this bottom one here and this top one, they like rarely line up. You've got to really push your fan down to be able to make those two holes align to get a screw in there. So it sort of feels like if you're just pushing on the top of the van here, the fan, you can break it. So basically what you'll want to do is, it doesn't have to be before, even after you've sat it on like this, you just go inside the van, and then from underneath the fan, you can take off the fan blades, or sorry, the mesh guard, and then the fan blades as well. And then that allows you from inside the fan to reach up inside the fan and pull that down, get like really good leverage on it without putting pressure on the rain hood. So that's the way that you can get these two holes to align really easily. So obviously you need a second set of hands, somebody on the roof to do the screw while you're holding it down. But yeah, that's a hot tip on installing your max fans. So there we go. That's the max fan. Onto the solar panel. So this is his solar cable entry. See how he goes. Really important with these ones as well that you just give that a really good clean with you know, metho or wax and grease remover, something just to make sure your Sikaflex can really get a good seal. And another thing, sorry, I didn't even pay attention. So ideally, you do just want to use a rubber grommet in this case as well. So it's just got the metal cut edge and sticking the cables in there. That, I don't know what that is, whether that is a rubber grommet, but yeah, you just want to make sure you've got something protecting the cables around this, any bare edge of metal, if that is metal. I'm not sure what that thing is. It may well be a rubber grommet. I have installed over 2 years ago. The biggest issue is not having a timber base and not using butyl tape, pushing up the tabs. Yeah. So you can push those tabs up, but all it means is that you are essentially relaxing the contact that the top section of the fan has with the flange and with the so you're lessening the pressure that the fan plastic has on the rubber seal in that goes around the flange, because you've moved the tabs and you've cheated in a sense by making it easier to make those screws align. So maybe a best of both worlds, or a mix of the two would be good. So move the tabs a little bit, but then make sure that you are getting a nice even pull down to get those screws in. Here we go, the good old Victron. Lovely. Oh, he's got some big heavy duty cable crimpers, nice. Who do you guys follow? If who is your go-to YouTube source of information for 12-volt electronics? I'd be really interested to hear who you guys have found is really helpful with the 12-volt side of things. I just forgot, it was a long time ago now that I was doing the majority of my research, but I remember Will Prowse was really good. He mostly specializes in just 12-volt solar, but I think that's all transferable and useful for van conversions. But yeah, let me know, who do you guys get your 12-volt information from? You need a base to screw into. Yeah, I've found that it's personally, so I don't actually use a base in my Max Air fans, Globetrotter, interestingly enough. In the Hiace, there's like, on two sides there is the metal ribs, so you kind of can't put a base in that case. And I've heard of most people put in some timber supports going the other way, but I've sort of just gone without, to be honest. With the amount of screws, butyl tape, like a really high quality Sikaflex adhesive as well, and then another Sikaflex Sikaflex sealant around the outside as well. Yeah, I've never had a problem with any water getting in. Oh, so he does use a hammer lug crimper as well. This one's taken a lot longer. I feel like I'm talking a lot more for this one. Interesting. He's gone for like some IKEA furniture. Keep things simple. But the trade-off is you're not quite using the space in your van as well as otherwise. Although, there you go. So he's making adjustments and making it fit as good as he can. Yo, Strictly Dan, how's it going, mate? We're trying out a new format where we just watch videos as well while I chat. Seeing if we get reprimanded from YouTube for any plagiarism. So just a simple bench top. How's Japan going, mate? Let me know. The massive bench top. I thought that as well, but I'm hoping that it's just a like a what is it? One of those chipboard benches with a veneer. I'm hoping it's just a veneer. So one of those lightweight countertops. So it's not putting too much weight. But it's quite a deep bench as well for a van conversion. So I guess that comes with using like the just standard IKEA bench that you're gonna have, some weird dimensions. Is 12 volts working? Let's go. I know that feeling all too well. It never gets old. Plugging something in for the first time. Domestics. Nice. Weight. What do you think? About weight in general in van conversions or about his bench? Nice. Nice. How much do the vans weigh over empty? Have you weighed it? I actually haven't, to be honest. It's a good point. I should definitely weigh the conversion so I know how much we're putting into them, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'll have to go do a tip run so I can go on the weigh bridge and I'll let you know. Dan, let me know how Japan's going. How do I... Oh, guess. Oh, dude. I literally have no idea. I couldn't... Like, my builds, they're pretty heavy. Like, I'll tell you that much. They're definitely up there. I'd say definitely a few 100 kilos by the time all your timber's in there, all your battery, your fridge, your water tank. Definitely a few hundred. I'm really interested here. He's used like super thick boards for his roof. This is really interesting. See how... Where'd he do it? His dad's getting involved. Love that. See how he's... So he's just put a black... I don't even know what. A black sheet up. And it looks like he's just using like a pine 2x4 for the ceiling. So that like takes up so much space up here. I mean, I guess he's got the headroom. He's not worried about it, but still, it's it's a thick roof. I do like these roofs though. The idea of like how they've, the black background and then just the slats running down. It's super common, but I do like it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how much they weigh, unfortunately. The trouble with this, okay, yeah. So although he's got the headroom to use, it is heavy. It's unnecessarily heavy on his ceiling. That's kind of the unfortunate thing about it. It looks like it's cheap and it looks good and it's pretty easy to install, so it ticks a lot of boxes. But yeah, it does look sort of unnecessarily heavy. Would be my only take. Interesting. He's using dowels to like properly cover his screw holes as well. That's a really nice touch. A really nice little. Oh, that looks so good though. Now they've stained that. I love that. That looks a bit hot. He's got like, what is that? Is that a Kmart little planter box? I love timber ceilings, and especially the timber grain once you put a stain on it. Oh, that looks so good. Dad's having a look at the lights. Is this a Kmart planter box here? We have them here. Alright, let's finish this one up. We've been watching this one forever. Some upper cabinets just to cover up this last bit of ugly wall. Fuck. See, isn't it amazing? Like, you said it at the start, Globetrotter. You love this guy because he has no idea, as you said, but just figures it out. But look at like the end result, the end product that you're looking at. Like, this van is going to look so good, and it really did kind of have that sense throughout it. Like, he's just having a crack, just just doing whatever it takes to get it done. But the end result is it's going to be beautiful. So it kind of just shows like that's all you really need to do is just be willing to, you know, get in there and give it a go, and you'll come out with something pretty bloody cool. This is starting to get really exciting. Stencils, look at that stencil. Everybody thinks when you're watching or when you're doing your own van build, everybody thinks that there must be a better way to do it, and you feel like an idiot for making like super niche specific stencils and even spending like 20 minutes cutting really specific curves with this stencil that you're going to use one time, and you feel like an idiot and like there has to be a better way to do it. But honestly, there isn't. You just have to make stencils for everything. That's just the way it is. This is a really nice touch. Putting the stretch carpet over like a little faceboard there for that front storage. That just looks so good now. Paint it white. Nice. Guys, this looks so good. Look at that. Unreal. This is going to upset me. How cheap everybody does it. There you go. Okay, so that's like 12,000 Australian dollars. That's fair. you think about impacts, how cabinets will react with an impact that can get into the cabin. Yeah, I am really aware of that, or even just with your ceiling boards as well. If you're not fixing everything right, then if a ceiling board were to come loose and just come flying into the front in an impact, I do think about that for sure. With that being said, I don't think there's anything in particular like that I don't know. There are no rules of thumb for how to prevent that, but I just keep it in mind when I'm fixing something. If I'm doing something at head height, then I'll maybe just put a couple of extra screws in it to really make sure that it's fixed, or if possible, fix it to the metal frame behind the wall rather than just to the timber wall of your van conversion. So that was Love Sundays. I'm probably going to have a look at more of his content off stream because he's come up quite a bit lately, and everybody seems to like him. I'm subscribed already. You can join his channel. I'm considering doing this on my own channel actually. I'll probably will do it at some point just to see how it goes. Doing some memberships, but I want to just quickly look at his most popular video, see what is done. 4 million, there you go. So he's done a bunch of vans, there you go. So he just does van builds. So I guess has no idea but just figures it out, but he is figuring it out more and more as we go. So alright, hopefully if I click over now, it's just going to take you guys with me and we can have a look at the Facebook group. And here's Kaz's build straight up. Let's have a look. I'm so excited. And thanks for saying we could do this, Kaz. Have a look. 2018 Hiace long wheelbase auto diesel. It sounds like a great van off the bat. I'm looking for exactly one of those for my own build, for my next build actually. Like pretty much exactly that. I wouldn't mind diesel or petrol, but that's a great van. Yeah, awesome. Sorry, I'm reading it out. I'm reading it to myself. Here are some pics of my van. Creating this conversion was such a great experience. That's awesome. It may not be Instagram worthy, but I absolutely love it. I had the mushroom pop top installed after I purchased the van. Ah, that's interesting. You had that done after market. How much did that cost? It allows me to still have small pack rack and I can still stand up to prepare meals and get dressed in the mornings. Okay, so straight away, Kaz, you're talking your van conversion down, saying like, oh, I'm 67 and it's not Instagram worthy, but there are a few things that you've really done well here. Just, yeah, hopefully we can have a look at that pop top. Oh no, the photos aren't huge. So, Kaz, can you share with us what did you do? How did you go about the van conversion? Did you do everything yourself, or other than the pop top, did you pay somebody, a handyman or a contractor, to take care of any of this for you, or? Yeah, Globetrotter, I am probably leaning towards petrol more at the moment with the prices. I love your little bed cover, the orange. Orange is my favorite color, but that's really sweet. And a huge underbed storage there, which is really nice. What I am curious about, Kaz, straight away, I want to know is, can you sit up on your bed? Can you sit upright on your bed here? Because that's a big has a big impact on quality of life in the van on the road. Yeah, super nice big, just looks like a normal single bed. It doesn't look from here like it pulls out, or maybe it does. Let's have a look. Keep looking through. Nice little personal touches on the side of the kitchen. This is so good. I like your walls. You've got V-groove boards on the walls. That looks really tidy. Paid someone to do the electrics. My youngest son works in the caravan industry, so he built the framework for the bed, drawers, and sink. I did everything else. Yes, I can sit up in the bed. Ah, awesome. Pillow top single bed mattress. Nice. So there's your king's fridge with a nice little frame. It looks like as well with that frame you've got around the kings that it does have some breathing room, like we were talking about earlier. Maybe not. And I definitely recognize this build shape here with your L-shaped kitchen, cabinetry, and then having the gap in the corner here. That works really well, I find. Nice. And really cool. I mean, yeah, you probably know from my builds, I've got a drawer up here, but it's a really good idea just to use that space. Keep it, nice and free and open for your electronics to have your little 12-volt hub here. That's cool. And you got heaps of drawer space there as well. Nice. Guys, this is really nice. I think I'm gonna try and get more people to send in pictures of their build so I can talk to you about it on stream. Kaz, how's the curtain with the cab heat? Does it help? Yeah, that's a good question. Does it help? I've personally, because I've got a similar setup where I've just got a curtain in between the two, and I find it does help. Here we go. We got a little peek behind the curtain here, so to speak. Nice. And there's the pop top. That's crazy. So you can stand up in your Hiace. That's so good. That's so good. Oh, I'm jealous. Kaz, I know I would have asked you last week, but whereabouts are you based? The curtains are insulated. They are ready-made caravan curtains. Wait, what? Spotlight sell ready-made caravan curtains? Are you kidding me? I didn't know that. Oh shit. That's beautiful. I didn't even see this side of it. You got heaps of storage there, nice. With your little vertical upright storage. What do you use this one for, Kaz? And how long have you been on the road? Now that I'm looking at pictures, I just want to ask a million questions. But share what you're comfortable sharing. I love what I really love. It's like such a little small. Well, it's not that small, honestly. Is the stretch carpet over all the exposed metal. That is such a nice touch. It looks like you've used stretch carpet on your roof as well, but I think at the back you even got stretch carpet. That is like such a big difference maker. I think it's like the difference for me between a quick, fast and dirty DIY build and a really nice polished finish is exactly that. Is just covering all your bare metal surfaces with some nice stretch carpet. So that's okay. So we're looking in here behind the driver's seat by the looks of it at all the plumbing system. So this plumbing system is designed to be removable. You pull out your grey water tanks and you connect your freshwater pump here to whichever freshwater tank you want to use. Is that how that works? That's really cool. How does, oh look, it's probably only so much you can tell me on chat, but yeah, I'm interested. How does your pump go, like extracting the water from the bottom of the tanks here? How does it? Obviously, you've got a hose going down there, but yeah, I'm interested how that works with like the fitting that you've got here to make the connection. But we've got a 21 series Seaflow water pump there, self-priming. Nice. I'd never carpeted before, but it didn't come out too bad. No, certainly not. It looks so lush. That looks so good. And I actually noticed it up here, but I just assumed that whoever you paid to do the mushroom pop top did this stretch carpeting, but maybe you did that as well. It looks so good. Yeah, so you've even used stretch carpet here at the back. It's very, very well done. Like, to go to those extra efforts, I think makes all the difference. Love it. Awesome, Kaz. That was definitely the most fun I've had all night on this stream, looking through those pictures. That was so cool. So you've did you say before the bed doesn't pull out, right? This one, it's just for you. You're happy with the single there, so it doesn't need to pull out and be supported on any rails or anything. You've just got your bed and a little alley access way through there. Beautiful. Well done. That's honestly, I hope you're super proud of that. To be, to just have a crack like that and to, yeah, have such a livable van. Nice build, Kaz. Yeah, absolutely. Well done. Bed's permanent. It has lift up access if I need to get to the drawer from inside. Ah, nice. Did you see that from my vans as well? Not that I want to presume. There are a million YouTubers out there making great content. Yeah, if anybody else is interested in having their van looked at, I would love to look through your van builds as well, even if you're not finished necessarily, just the progress you've been able to make. You can definitely either post to the Facebook group, Journey Van Builds, or you can post on the YouTube page as well. I've got a community tab, so you can go to the community tab on the YouTube page, and you should be able to post here as well. Hopefully, post some images. And if someone tries and they can't, then let me know, because I'll need to stop telling people that you can. So good. Drop a like for that one, Kaz. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you got 5 comments already. So good. If I used Instagram, I would look at this. Ah, there you go, Kaz. Did you see that? Not an Instagram van. That's actually such a nice thing to say. If I was on Instagram, I'd stop scrolling to look at this. Meaning, you've got an Instagram van, Kaz. That's cool. Alright. These are all just my random notifications. That is a lovely comment. That is a lovely comment. Oh. Alright, guys. I think that's about it. We'll wrap it up there. Unless somebody in the chat right now wants to post some pictures and have a look through your vans, I'd love to have a look through another van if someone's keen. But if not, I reckon we'll wrap it up there. But definitely in the meantime, maybe you just don't have the photos ready available at the moment. So if you want to post any pictures of your build, whether it's finished or in progress, do that in the Journey Van Builds Facebook group on the community page here on YouTube, and just maybe say it in the post or in a comment or something, that you wouldn't mind me having a look at it on a stream, because I would love that. And then I'll, of course, even if you're not there, I'll tag you in the video so you can have a look at it, as we have a look through. So yeah, all right, that's it. We've just ticked over 2 hours streaming. So thanks heaps, guys, for being here. It's just been pretty chill having a look at those videos, so it's been very enjoyable. I'm going to definitely try to do a stream every Sunday, and ideally even more if I can figure out like a kind of format that really works and we can get into a bit of a rhythm. I'd love to be, going live like 2 or 3 times a week, just to sort of more frequently be able to, chat to you guys and field questions about your builds. This is really cool just to be able to hang out and chat. But I'd love to be available so during the week while you're working on your van, you can pop in and ask questions that are relevant to what you're working on. So, yep, that's going to be it for the night. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks for being here. Glad you could catch a stream, Globetrotter, and thanks for hanging out the whole time. You were the first one in here, here the whole time. So thank you very much. Alrighty, guys. Good night. Catch you on the next one.